Hey, what's up guys? Today's video, we're gonna take a look at the Google Pixel 4a with 5G. So this is the just black 128 gigabytes of storage, and this phone is unlocked. So we got this on Thanksgiving, and we actually got it like for around $200 by trading in the Pixel 3 XL. My wife's Pixel 3 XL, we did not trade it in, but it's my phone that I traded in for this phone. And I think it's a really good value. It's really hard to pass up, so that's why we took advantage of that good deal. And yeah, let's take a look at the unboxing. So the box is actually well presented. It's really tiny, just really minimalistic, but sadly to say, there's no earphones. So I think that's like a trend nowadays. But yeah, some people would really love having earphones that came with the phone. But anyway, let's start with the specs. So the Pixel 4a 5G has a 6.2-inch display, and with a resolution of 1080 by 2340 and a pixel density of 413 pixel per inch. The display of this phone does not support 90 Hz, so it's just 60 Hz, unlike the Pixel 5. And this thing has a contrast ratio of 100,000:1. Unlike the Pixel 5, the Pixel 5 have 1,000,000:1, so that has a higher contrast ratio compared to this. And the glass cover is a Corning Gorilla 3. The Pixel 5 have Gorilla Glass 6. And the battery capacity is 3,885 milliamp hour. No wireless charging, not water resistant unlike the Pixel 5, but the processor though is the same with the Pixel 5, which is Qualcomm Snapdragon 765G. This phone only have a 6 gigabytes of RAM compared to the Pixel 5, which have 8 gigabytes of RAM. And now this also supports 5G network, just like the Pixel 5. And just like any Pixel phones, the fingerprint scanner is on the back. Now just like the Pixel 5, there's two sensors on the rear camera now, a 12.2 megapixel and a 16 megapixel ultra-wide sensors. And on the front is still 8 megapixel camera. Now this phone still have stereo speakers, but what I really like is that unlike the Pixel 5, they still have the traditional speaker on the earpiece side, so not that like in-display vibrating speaker that you find in the Pixel 5. This one still have really decent speakers. And on the bottom speaker, it's down firing. It's good enough since that the earpiece side is actually front firing, so it's okay. Now let's talk about 5G on this phone. Now this phone supports 5G, but I don't think it's really important this time around yet, because there's not really much places that have a 5G. And if there is 5G, it's mostly like really weak signal. And during my test, I found out that even with weak signal, the 5G network is still faster than the 4G LTE. So if 5G network is available, then it's better to switch this one than the 4G LTE. The good thing is 5G network is set by default on the phone, so you don't have to change anything. But if you're in a place that have really strong 5G signal, then it's actually really fast. On my test with this phone, it actually hit almost 200 megabits per second download speed. And for some reason, this is actually a little bit faster than the Pixel 5. I don't know why. Now moving on to the display. So the display is 6.2 inch. It's actually a little bit just smaller than the Pixel 3 XL. And I see why people like big phones, because this is really easy on the eyes. I kinda really jealous sometimes when I use this phone. It actually sometimes makes me wonder if I really made the right decision getting the Pixel 5 over this phone. But when I go back to the Pixel 5, that's when I remember why I bought that phone. But this one, I understand why people like big phones. Now this phone doesn't support 90 Hz, but actually I don't really see that much difference with my Pixel 5 anyway. I do see it, but it's not really that big of a deal. It's not really that a big difference. So I think 60 is still good enough. And I think it doesn't drain the battery that fast too if the phone is operating at lower refresh rate, like 60 Hertz, than higher. So you're not really missing anything, on my opinion. Unless that's like 144 Hertz, then that would really make a big difference. And next, no more notch. Thank God, right? No more notch. I hate those notch. So what it has is only a punch hole. The punch hole is not really distracting at all. I actually like it, even when playing games, just like the Pixel 5, anything, it's not distracting at all. Unlike those notch, the notch is hideous. Now let's talk about the body. The body size is not for everyone. I don't really prefer large phones, but I do see why people like it, because it's with that big display. And yes, it's a trade-off. If you want to have a small phone, then you're gonna get a small display. But if you want a big display, then you're gonna have a big phone and it's gonna be bulky in your pocket. So, but if you have like a man purse or a purse, then it will be convenient. It's not gonna be a bothersome. So it has a plastic finish, but I don't feel like it's cheap at all. But it's a little bit slippery though. So I would actually use a case for this phone because it's a little bit slippery. So unlike the Pixel 5, it's actually smooth here. It doesn't have that weird sandy feeling in here, but I would still get a case for this phone. So just to make sure you won't drop it. And because the phone is big, it's not really doable just using one hand. And this phone is not water resistant. So it's not IP68. So you better be careful not to get this thing wet or submerge this into the water. And what I really like is that it has the headphone jack. So if you have those old headphones or earphones that's kind of expensive, or something that you really want to use, then you have that ability now. The 3.5mm headphone jack, it's on this phone. And just like what I said earlier, it has the stereo speakers. So it has that traditional decent sounding speaker on the earpiece. So it doesn't sound terrible at all. Really nice. But I haven't really tried those other brands, so I don't know how this compares. So unlike the Pixel 5, this phone doesn't have that mysterious gap between the body and the display. So it is well built, in my opinion. So compared to the Pixel 5, the battery is smaller, only 3885 milliamp hour, but it's actually decent enough. It's actually good enough. I'm not really the one using this phone, but according to my wife, it actually still have like 30% at the end of the day. Unlike the Pixel 3 XL that she has before, she actually needs to recharge that phone twice in a day too. So just like me, when I had the Pixel 3 XL, it actually needs to be recharged twice in a day. But this phone, just once, and you still have some left at the end of the day. And the same thing with the Pixel 5. This also have the extreme battery saver feature. So by default, it only turns on the essential apps, but you can also add the apps that you think that's also important. And also one thing that's gonna differentiate the Pixel 4a 5G to the Pixel 5 is that the absence of wireless charging. The only thing that I can actually think of that the wireless charging is really important if this USB-C port goes bad. So maybe don't use a cheap USB-C cable on this, so it will last longer. I think that's what happened to my Pixel 3 XL. I've been using that any kind of USB-C cable that I find, and then after a while it actually got loose. And my wife, Pixel 3 XL, she never used a different USB cable on that phone, and it actually still really tight. Unlike mine, it was getting really loose. So that's when I think the wireless charging is gonna come in handy. And when it comes to performance, this have the Qualcomm Snapdragon 76G, and this phone have 6 gigabytes of RAM. It's not high-end. The phone doesn't actually feel slow at all actually. I haven't really tried other phones with a high-end processor anyway, but in my opinion, when I compare this to the Pixel 3 XL, it's actually not bad. It feels a little bit faster, but it's not that big of a difference, but it doesn't feel slow either. So I actually don't mind the speed of this phone. So maybe that's why the phone lasts really long too, because of this combination. Now this phone only comes with the fingerprint scanner. It doesn't have that face recognition, but I actually don't mind. Like this time around with the COVID-19, it actually doesn't make sense to use the facial recognition outside anymore when you're wearing mask. I'm actually just fine with the fingerprint scanner. And plus with this phone, it's actually well placed. So it's actually really easy to reach that sensor to unlock the phone, whether you're using it with your left or right hand. Now talking about the camera, it's actually just the same as the Pixel 5. Still no auto flash for some reason. I really like the auto flash, but how about you guys? Do you really miss the auto flash, or you don't mind at all? And the same thing with the Pixel 5. It also comes with a lot of options for video stabilization. So more video stabilization options like standard, active, locked, and cinematic pan. Now with the active video stabilization, the downside of using that option is that it's gonna drop the resolution into 1080p. So it's gonna be really stable, but it's just less resolution now. It's not as detailed. And here are some examples of the photos and video stabilizations. So if you are looking for a big phone and an Android phone, I can actually recommend this phone. So here are the things that you need to keep in mind though. So if you buy this phone, it only supports 60 Hz refresh rate. So compared to the Pixel 5, that phone actually supports 90 Hz. But I think the other brands actually they support higher refresh rate than that. So if that's what you're looking for, this phone is not it. Next, what you need to remember is that this phone is not water resistant. So you're gonna have to be a little bit careful on this phone, not to get wet. Now it has the same processor of the Pixel 5, but this phone only have 6 gigabytes of RAM compared to the Pixel 5 that have 8 gigabytes of RAM. But it doesn't still feel slow at all though. I actually still like using this phone. And this phone only have 3885 milliamp hour battery, but the way my wife and I use it, it seems like it's actually really good enough for daily use. So one more reason to buy this phone is that it doesn't have the notch too. And the next, the speaker is actually sound decent, so you don't have to worry about the sound anymore on this phone. And because this is a Pixel phone, you are assured that you're gonna get regular software updates, and that's one of the reasons why I like Pixel phones. So what do you think, guys? Do you think this phone is the one for you, or you want something else? We would love to hear what you think, so leave your comment down below. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you find this video helpful, and as always guys, stay busy and I will see you on the next one. Bye. Hey guys, what's up? So in this Hey guys, what's up? Today's video we're gonna take a look at the Google Pixel 5. Oh, come on. So this phone still have the stereo speak. It still has the speed. It still has the stereo. It still has the